What up and welcome to the Golden Era. Games 1 and 2 of the conference semifinals coming up next. We've got highlights, we got reaction. Let's get to it. I would say let's start off with game 1, but there's nothing to start off with. Houston shellacks Golden State 119 to 97. Dominant win by the Rockets at home. They take the 1-0 series lead. How about some actual highlights, though? Game 1, Bulls and Hornets. Bulls clinging to a 5-point lead. 2:40 to go inside. Cavante Kennard, former number 1 overall pick, getting it done, and the lead balloons to 7. Jonathan Malhier going to work against Javon Stokes, cuts the lead back to 5. We're under 2 to go. Kick out. Shane Ruffin, multiple-time NBA champion with the Golden State Warriors. We got ourselves a 2-point game, but then comes Dakota Motley, the whirling dervish inside. Warriors fans well acquainted with that from last year's NBA Finals 4-point game. Here comes Ruffin inside, trying to get something to go. Does not. That's going to fall out. 4-point game, under a minute. Kick, you cannot leave Javon Stokes open. Triple buried, and the Bulls on top 1-0. Complete scores from game 1, of course, that 121-13 for Chicago. The Nets get a 15-point winner. Rashawn Matthews, 31 points, dominant performance, quiet night from Jalen Justice. And then our fourth one, competitive, but early only by the score standpoint. Suns get it 107-103. Cade Cunningham, don't say I never make a field goal. 28 points in the win. Now, we do have highlights from Game 2, Houston and Golden State. Start this thing off, 4:20 to go. Rockets on top by 1. Caden Dickerson says, let's trade spots. Free throws, and the Rockets are back up. Here comes Ray Peterson. A little pump fake gets Deontay Dixon clear. 3-point burger. Still a 3-point game. Rashawn Matthews ain't playing here. Deontay Dixon is. Hand down, man down, triple, and we're knotted at 108. Russell Kingston, the tough draw, having to go against another MVP candidate. Darnell Gist says, give me that. Triple, though, and the other one doesn't fall from Dixon, trying to take the lead. So that means transition basketball, and Darnell Gist don't miss. Flexes on the Warriors. It's a 4-point ball game. Still 4 points. Caden Dickerson answering, and with 1:20 to go, we got ourselves a 1-possession, 1-point game. But back to the well go the Rockets. Powerfully, I might add. Free throw, this is a big one. Misses from Javon Roll, the front end of 2. Sinks the second, so it's a 2-point game. Gist on the other end to make it a 2-possession game. He's going to be fouled by Kingston. Makes the first 3-point game, put it nearly knockout punch. Can't get the second. Door open for Golden State. Bad possession there from Deontay Dixon. Intercepted. Cole Herringody tries a reckless alley-oop attempt, and after all that, the Warriors get the basketball back, and they find jacking down the court. Deontay Dixon, 1-point game. 7 seconds to go, and for whatever reason, the Warriors think, hey, Russell Kingston's the guy we should have taken the shot. He doesn't. He misses. 3-point game after a pair of free throws. Who do they find? One man. Javon Roll. Bottoms. And with 0.6 left, we've got ourselves a tie game. Chance for the Rockets to get back, or are we going to overtime? Russell Kingston, where's the defense? Darnell Gist at the buzzer, just barely out of his hands, and the Houston Rockets take a pair at home. 120-117. Our other Game 2 scores, none carried the drama of Houston and Golden State. The Bulls roll by 16, 28 apiece from Stokes and Motley. Another 31 points from Rashawn Matthews, though this time matched by Jalen Justice, and the Celtics get a 115-94 win. And then, hold on, Las Vegas is fresh off this upset of the Seattle Sonics. 12-point win. They've stolen home court. 113-101. Quiet night from Jacoby Cleaves. Just 13 field goal attempts. 12 points in the loss. All right, games 1 and 2 in the books. Let's start Golden State and Houston, where the Houston Rockets hold a 2-0 lead thanks to the buzzer-beating triple from Darnell Gist. in Game 2. Not a great start for Golden State. obviously. They've tried some wrinkles that haven't really worked. And a lot of the same challenges that they've run into in the past are bubbling back up here. Dele Bagley inserted into the starting lineup. He was he was in 29 minutes, was minus 19 in that Game 2 loss. His primary function, defend D.D. McDyess. McDyess had 17 points on 6 of 12 shooting. Not a great job. The rest of the reserves, honestly, decent game. Jonte Taylor had 18 points on 4 of 7 from deep. Damian Pack had 14, but it took him a lot of shots to get there in Game 1. Game 2 was better. And then Russell Kingston had 10 points and 12 boards. I mean, Kingston is actually, in a tough situation. He just got done defending Abiy Ojale. Now you got to defend Darnell Gist. But it doesn't matter because they can't defend. They didn't defend in the last 3 seconds. Namely, Russell Kingston clearly left way too much space for Darnell Gist. And at the same time, just overall, what we saw in their losses against Minnesota in the first round have resurfaced. Javon Roll has not been consistently aggressive. Game 1, he had, 16 shots, 23 points. It's not an insignificant amount, but we've seen him kind of be efficient at higher volumes, and he has continued that here in this postseason. But he needs the ball more, I guess is what I'm saying. And Houston, give them credit. They have forced the ball out of his hands. They have forced the ball to Damian Pack. That is going to be something that continues to happen. Damian Pack needs to be a viable number 3 option for them. He is the 6th man of the year. He's a very good basketball player, but he has to be better on the ball. He has not been in these playoffs, and that's a big reason why Golden State has struggled. He's just not the same number 3 that that Jonathan Kuminga was a year ago. Give credit to the Rockets. Great Cole Herringody Game 1 overcomes a really bad Darnell Gist Game 1, and D.D. McDyess in his first playoffs after a really rough opening series against the Kings has looked really good here in the second round against Golden State. So credit to them for getting that done. Let's go elsewhere. Suns and the Venom. We've got a series that the Venom have been the better team for 7 of the 8 quarters in this game. They led from pretty much the entirety of Game 1 until they fell apart in the fourth quarter of Game 1, and they lose that one by 4. And then they were dominant for the first 4 quarters, all 4 quarters, obviously, in Game 2. That needs to continue, and they've been relying on defense. I think that defense is really going to continue to carry them. Cunningham was, and Cleaves both were 5 and 13. If Anthony Edwards is your leading scorer, 21 points, 7 and 9, that's going to be a good thing. The Venom are frisky. The Venom are this frisky team right now because of their defense. We're seeing that again here through the opening 2 games as it shifts. I don't know that this is repeatable for the entirety of the season, of the series, but we're starting to see it. We're starting to continue to see, I shouldn't say starting, we are continuing to see this depth of their scoring options. Corey Flynn, 24 in Game 2. Kai Udry had 8 of 9 shooting, 21 points. Jaden Bibbs had 17 points. Like they get so many job options on the floor. That's what's carrying this group. That's why they're here in the conference semifinals. Their defense, they need to continue to get out to the gate early. They can't have the collapse that they had in Game 1 where they fell apart in the fourth quarter. All right, let's go to Brooklyn and Boston. I think this is my most anticipated series. I think that opinion is shared pretty uniformly across the board. And despite it being a 1-1 series, it has not been a competitive one. 15-point win for Brooklyn in Game 1, and then a 21-point win for Boston in Game 2. But the biggest thing I'm seeing is in the center position. Where the heck is Xavier Carter? Defensive Player of the Year a year ago, not this past season, is just getting dunked on by Rashawn Matthews. Matthews had 31 in both Games 1 and Game 2. He had 21 boards in the Game 1 win, 5 blocks in that Game 1 win, and had 5 steals in Game 2. Meanwhile, Xavier Carter, who, by the way, Carter last season, when he won Defensive Player of the Year, 19 points per game. His scoring certainly took a dip with the arrival of Jalen Justice, but 11 and 12 points through the first 2 games, 10 and 8 shots. He's supposed to be the third star. He's just not looking like it. That's why this series is 1-1. It's also 1-1 because what the Celtics rely on, 3-point shooting, offensive boards, and turnovers, that pendulum swung in both directions through the first two games. Game 2 went their direction, and that's why we're tied at 1 apiece. And then let's go Charlotte and Chicago. Where is Robert Mack? He turned his ankle in Game 4 against Indiana. He's looked out of sorts ever since then. 12 points on 6 of 11 in Game 1. 13 points on 5 of 13 shooting in Game 2. The first 3 games against the Pacers, he had 18, 21, and 17 shot attempts. Game 4, he had 11. That's when he turned his ankle. 11 and 13 to start here. He has not been on their injury report, but he looks hobbled, and he needs to find it because the rest of this roster just is not keeping up. Malik Hightower, Jonathan Malheur, Shane Ruffin are all really good. Jonathan Malheur, the best of the 3 of them, but they're not Robert Mack. He's getting double-teamed. That's allowing Kevonte Kennard to defend him, and I think Kevonte Kennard's good, but he's certainly not typically up to that standard. They'll need to make a comeback here. Robert Mack to be the All-NBA guy that he's shown he can be. Credit to the Bulls. They've taken him out of it, and that's why they're up 2-0. We got Games 3, Games 4 coming up next right here on the Golden Era.